What are you going to be using the EARTHwise DAO for?
Yeah, the EARTHwise DAO serves a very specific purpose, and that is to develop and deploy a game that we are developing, which we're calling the EARTHwise Game for Civilizational Transformation, which is both real life as well as a video game, like an open world immersive action game designed to engage the millions of people who want to make a difference in the world with the tools and the opportunities and the communities in order to be able to do so. And this is where the Hypha DAO tools for us, provide a really incredible platform to be able to kind of mobilize as well as to align all that incredible creativity that is there in the community and to align also our collective intelligence for being able to create a game that is not just for humanity, but made with humanity. So we really want the way that we make a game to be a game shifter. And this is why we believe that having a DAO, we'll call the DAO-powered game, where game developers, game designers, people working on the sound, on the video, on the graphics, on the storyline, they also are able to get and give input through the DAO tools in what we are co-creating together and literally have a stake in the game. Because with the tokens, that makes that possible, adding GameFi and DeFi features as well, using the best of Web3 tools and technologies, as well as ethical AI integration. So this is what we are very excited about using the DAO tools from Hypha for, so that we can truly create an EARTHwise kind of DAO game platform. And that also then introduces the players of the game by playing inside the DAO to these new innovative tools of how do we then decentralize governance and decision making and democratize ownership, so that we literally what we're doing, in fact, is we're gamifying the DAO movement. We're gamifying everything that we set out also in Hypha as in EARTHwise, in terms of the mission and the purpose that we are seeing for these new technologies that are accelerated technologies, the massively transformative technologies to empower humanity for our world in transformation. So that's what we have embarked on. And I'll keep sharing with you what we are learning as we are going through that journey, because we are really at the foundation now of embarking on this.
So, as the founder and CEO of EARTHwise Centre, why did you decide to expand through a DAO?
Thank you. I think that this question is really relevant for a lot of organizations because we, as EARTHwise Centre, we have the unique feature of being both a nonprofit and a company. So we're actually a hybrid model. And the reason why that we decided to expand by adding this DAO layer is because the beauty of DAOs and the tools that it affords people and organizations is to now really start to both align and to coordinate a collective potential. We hear a lot of words like collective intelligence or even collective wisdom, but we need tools in order to align and coordinate those. Because if we're looking now at why has humanity not been able to solve the greatest challenges that we are faced with, despite knowing the facts, we're hearing this in the news every day. Yeah? You can boil it down to two big problems: massive failures in alignment, because people are making decisions really at the cost and the expense of our collective long-term well-being. So massive issues with alignment. The personal collective alignment isn't happening. Short-term, long-term thinking and decision-making is also not aligned in a way that helps us to create conditions for collective thriving for generations to come. So that's one. And secondly is massive failures in coordination. Our societies are growing more and more complex, but because we are not giving people, or we haven't come to that point until the DAO movement, to really provide the coordination tools to bring people together through collective sense-making, collective decision-making for collective thriving, long-term planetary and personal well-being. We're seeing that also been these massive coordination failures with all the problems that we are seeing today. So EARTHwise Centre provides leadership for that transition, That's really why we're here. We're providing leadership and systems design and training and development for going from where we are now, which is a trajectory towards civilizational collapse, and to make the necessary transformations for sustainable development within planetary boundaries, regeneration, and ultimately thrivability. That's really our goal. But what we found ourselves is, though we've been providing, so many programs to support both businesses, non-profits, schools, governments with this, we ourselves were lacking essential coordination tools to be able to not just speak the theory, not just speak from what we know or what I've been working with as a systems scientist for a very long time, but actually make it really, really applied and practical. So if we look, for example, within the EARTHwise Centre itself, we have a very large community. We have many members, and we have an amazing community of people who have often said, we want to volunteer, we want to work with EARTHwise, what can we do? But what I have found is that we didn't have the appropriate organizational structure to really acknowledge these people, to truly value their contributions, and to make also the contributions concrete. And that resulted often in either kind of ad hoc consultancies, hiring people for short-term projects and campaigns that we were running, or else working with volunteers who, would show up with all the love that they had when they could. But when other demands were calling for their time and attention, they would not be there, which meant that for me as a CEO, very often it fell back on my shoulders to keep the ship running, which meant I would be taking up 10 jobs. Now, the beauty of the DAO and why we have ourselves also as a company invested in obtaining the license from Hypha for becoming what we call an anchor DAO, so that we can build an ecosystems of DAOs, is to solve that problem, so that now we can actually enroll all of those amazing people who want to make a difference, who are already enrolled in the EARTHwise vision, who believe in what we're standing for. They want to just contribute, but now we can give them a way within the DAO as a platform, having a decentralized autonomous organization, the blockchain technology to make it transparent. You have the ways to do, for example, contribution accounting, so we can make it really visible, all the values they're creating. We can have our automated smart contracts, so now we can have on-chain agreements that are not being forced from top down, as you have in a lot of the current organizations, but that are agreements that have been formed through collective sense-making, input, collective decision-making, everything in line with our values. This is what we love so much about the Hypha tools and technology, but also the ethos of what Hypha stands for. And we have also now a way to align through the DAO tools, to align for personal and collective well-being, and the short-term tasks and goals that are necessary in order also to be achieving truly our vision, our mission, which is for our collective planetary thriving. So we're really excited about expanding EARTHwise as an organization and a brand through this DAO layer. We already received the feedback from a lot of our members that they're really looking forward to joining that. We've just embarked on that journey, but we've got a lot of intrigue. Also from people who are a little bit shy about technology. They may ask, what does it mean, and how do I onboard, and blockchain what, and what do you mean with transparency by design? So we do understand we have to take people slowly by the hand and actually show them how it works. And that comes then back to what I like about Hypha, having the human-centered focus on technology innovation, also for social innovation. So I'll pause there for a moment, so because there's so many reasons why we decided to make this step, but overall, yes, we're really excited about it. We believe in this, and we have the community excitement to embark on this journey now.
Why do you believe in the DAO movement, and what does it mean for you?
So the DAO movement is the movement for decentralizing governance and democratizing ownership, which is an incredible important movement. So I see the DAO movement as an emerging movement from a new paradigm movement for changing how we do governance, changing how we look at ownership, changing how we coordinate our collective intelligence potential for the greatest challenge that we as a humanity are faced with. So if you're really looking at, where are we poised right now? We are going into tipping point times, planetary tipping points, social tipping points, economics, financial tipping points, yeah? And they're having escalating events. The DAO movement is emerging within those major shifts. And I believe in the DAO movement because I see that it provides essential tools for empowering humanity to address those challenges, to mature our collective consciousness in the process, and together to create solutions that our world needs for the transformations that we are in.
Okay, so as one of the main architects for the Hypha Constitution, can you tell us what is unique about a constitutional DAO?
Yes, I mean, that's another feature that I love about Hypha, because we're always about innovation, social innovation, but taking a living systems approach. So the constitution for Hypha is based on the architecture, cosmological architecture, and evolutionary principles of living systems. And that's really important. And that might well even be one of the first in the world where you actually see that there is a constitution for a technology that is based on living systems, again, with a very clear focus of how does this technology empower humanity to apply its collective intelligence potential for solving the greatest challenges that our world is faced with, and to co-create the conditions for our collective thriving in harmony with nature. So this is what's really unique about the Hypha Constitution. Is that it also serves as a compass, and it serves also as setting a higher standard about what we see as the purpose of technology, how DAOs need to have a really positive purpose contribution, also including what we're meaning with ethical AI integrations, for example, because that's a big question right now. And also, for example, through those integration, how the collective intelligence of the DAO trained and having underlying the value structure and the principled structure of a high purpose statement of the Constitution, how that can also evolve even technologies such as artificial intelligence. So it's a unique process. It's also an evolutionary constitution in the sense that it will continue to evolve with the input of the members. So it's not a static document that is once it's voted on, it's there forever. No, we will continue to evolve it, to continue to update it with the input of all the core members of Hypha. So you're all of that, you can be part of that.
Okay, so would you like to provide a quote about your experience so far with Hypha?
Yes, I'd love to do that. And I'll give you my my experience as a customer in this case, of Hypha, as we have purchased the license for our EARTHwise DAO. It's been an amazing experience because it's the team of Hypha that has also been really thinking with us every step of the way. The Hypha core team has been there to look at how can we make the most of this new technology for our members. What does it mean to be now working together in the form of a DAO, which is a different structure from the form of the center that we were operating in before? And how do they both align? How would we optimize that? The Hypha team has also been incredible in thinking with us about this ecosystemic approach, about making this bigger impact. And I believe the whole onboarding process in Hypha, where as a DAO, you get to think about your vision and your purpose and your values, about your membership policies, how you form agreements. I think that's really important. So it's so much more that I really want to emphasize than, okay, here's your DAO license and there you got your tools and now you get going. No, it's really about thinking, how can this technology help solve the problems that you may not have been able to solve as an organization, and take your organization, your purpose and your mission and everything you want to achieve with your community to the next level in a way that truly creates value for the whole. And the value now becomes visible, it becomes transparent, And it creates these beautiful self-reinforcing feedback loops that we see more of the positive things that we want to be seeing coming out of people working together for a very clear and beautifully transformative purpose.
Great. And would you like to provide a quote about your experience so far with Hypha as a core team member?
Yes. Well, it's been a wild journey. I'll tell you that. And why have I stayed for all of those years, despite the many challenges that we have faced, is because there is, at the depth of it, there is heart. And there is the willingness for all of us to learn together, to experiment, to learn from also the mistakes that we're making. As an entrepreneur and as an innovator, you have to be willing to experiment, to make mistakes, and to get feedback, but to truly, really, really believe that we are creating a technology here and a technology solutions that is going to empower humanity exactly for what is necessary right now. And that's what I've really loved about working with Hypha, is this high creativity, deep commitment to the values, showing up to keep learning, to keep improving, and getting focused together and having that common understanding and commitment of, why are we really here? What's required from us as a collective in order to go through our transformations as a team, but also go through the transformations as a system and as a technology provider, so that we can walk the talk, be the DAO. And that's probably, finally what I love about it is that in Hypha, we've been inside a DAO. So it's not just that we are making DAO tools. We've been ourselves a DAO for all of those years. So we understand the journey, we understand the challenges, we understand how to grow through those challenges, we understand the potential that is there, and we understand in the end of the day always what is important, what do we need to come back to from a human-centered focus. Technology is never overriding. Technology only works when there are conscious humans underneath that, with an incredible commitment to life, with an incredible commitment to learning and to bringing forth the best of our humanity, and to empower each other to do so.